Shlok 1 of chapter 4, Shri Bhagwanuvach.
इमो विवस्वते यागं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरेक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्.
Shri God said, I, the incorporeal form of the light of Sadashiv, had narrated this imperishable yoga in the form of energy to Vivasvat, or the living pole star, or the hero with a ruined intellect, after entering him in the Purushottam Sangamyug in the previous Kalpa as well. Vivasvat narrated it to Manua, that is man with a bull-like intellect in the form of Rishab, meaning bull, that is subtle-bodied Brahma, or the one with 4 united heads, and Manu narrated it to his son Ikshvaku, the one with the desire of lust. He died an untimely death because of being bitten by Takshak snake. Shlok 2 of chapter 4.
एवं परम्परा प्राप्तं इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप.
In this way, vicious royal sages with a beard and a moustache like Vikramaditya and so on came to know this ancient yoga in the copperage obtained by tradition. Oh, the one who burns the enemies! That yoga has completely destroyed here, in the sinful ironage since a long time of 2500 years of the copperage itself of the Videshi, Vidharmi and violent demons. Footnote. In the confluence age shooting, at first, the Brahmarishis, then the Devrishis, that is divine sages, and lastly, from the dualistic copper age, the Rajarishis, that is royal sages like Vikramaditya came to know this yoga. Is it the rule of always independent Rajyogi kings, or is it the democratic rule of those who are always dependent at present? It is the rule of dependent beggars. Shlok 3 of chapter 4.
सेवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्.
You are my devotee and friend at the end of the Iron Age. This is why at the end of every cycle of 4 ages, today, in the Purushottam Sangamyug I have narrated the same most famous ancient yoga of the previous Kalpa to you, the one who bears the permanent chariot. This itself is certainly the most elevated secret of being Trikaldarshi. Shlok 4 of chapter 4, Arjun Uvach.
अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतत् विजानीयात् त्वमादौ प्रोक्तवानिति.
Arjun said, Vivasvat, the son of knowledge with the third I was born in the most ancient time, that is at the beginning of the Kalpa, and you are born later, that is now, at the end of the Iron Age. Then, you said that it happened in the beginning of the 4 ages. How should I believe it? These are 2 contradictory statements. Shlok 5 of chapter 4. Shri Bhagwan Uvach.
बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप.
Shri God said, O Arjun, innumerable births of me, the form of the light of Sadashiv who can enter and have divine birth, and you, have passed away in the innumerable cycle of 4 ages of 5,000 years. Because of the exact repetition of one Kalpa, that is, the 4 ages, I, Trikalagya Shiv, because of being Ajanma and Agarbha, know all those births that we had at the end of the Iron Age of the Kalpas, as said in Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya, at the end of the Iron Age in chapter 4, Shlok 7, and Kalp Kalp Lagi Prabhu Avatara in Ramayan. the one who burns the enemies like lust, and so on, especially in the Purushottam Sangam Yuga, or the great deity soul who is the enemy of lust. You, the soul who enjoys happiness of the Indriya now, especially in the last and Tamsi birth, don't know them. You forget the events of the previous births because of enjoying the pleasure of Indriya, birth after birth. Yada yada hi dharmasya means, whenever there is defamation of the religion, I have birth. Kalp kalp lagi Prabhu Avtara means, God incarnates in every cycle. Footnote. Each drama of the 4 ages of 5,000 years repeats exactly the same way, because every record in the form of the star-like soul contains the part of its eternal, fixed births, which repeats exactly the same way again and again in the 4 ages named a Kalpa. It is the unlimited, imperishable drama of 4 scenes. Shlok 6 of chapter 4.
अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया.
Despite being ajanma through the womb and capable to enter a body, Amogvirya, the one who never falls, the one who is always detached from the body because of being ajanma, agarbha, abhokta, that is, the one who doesn't enjoy pleasures, and akarta, despite being the most elevated and non-violent ruler of living beings, I, the incorporeal point form light of Shiv who is full of spiritual love and always devoid of the feeling of being a body, subjugate the nature of the bodily Indriya, in the form of my permanent chariot of Arjun, or Adam, and have birth through the strongest power of the soul, just according to Praveshtum in chapter 11, Shlok 54 of the Gita. Shlok 7 of chapter 4.
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
O the one who belongs to the dynasty of King Bharat. By the end of the Tamsi Iron Age, whenever there is extreme defamation of the true ancient deity religion and its religious father, and when there is atheism, or rise of a religion, or vidharm, that is opposite religions like Islam, Christianity and so on, that are violent through the thoughts, words, and deeds, it is then that, according to Sarvadharman Parityajya mentioned about all the irreligious ones and Vidharmis in chapter 18, Shlok 66 of the Gita, I myself, Shiv, have divine birth in the form of revelation through Arjun or Adam, the hero actor who has become Tamsi. Footnote. According to the Vedic process of creation and the last age mentioned in the Jain religion, the true religion and its religious father, that is Adidev, or Adam are completely defamed only at the end of the sinful Iron Age. See Adishwar Charitra page 110 and 111, footnote. Also see YouTube AIVV. Shlok 8 of chapter 4.
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे.
For the protection of saints, for the destruction of the wicked ones who are engaged in violence through the Gyan and Karmendriya, and for the complete establishment of 100% true religion of Vishnu here itself, I have birth in the form of divine entrance, in the Purushottam Sangamyug, in the middle of 2 ages, that is the end of the Iron Age plus beginning of the Golden Age. Note, according to these shloks, 7, 8 of chapter 4 and Shlok 66 of chapter 18 of the Gita, there is existence and definition too of all the religions at the end of the sinful ironage itself, and sons of 9 categories in the entire world who are born through the thoughts of Brahma are also being created in practice in AIVV. Just like all the religious fathers narrated the knowledge one after the other according to the age, Shiv Baba certainly requires 100 years for narrating the knowledge of the Gita orally through Brahma with 5 heads, doesn't he? In fact, this unlimited spiritual father establishes the capital too, along with the true religion. Shlok 9 of chapter 4.
जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन.
O Arjun! In this way, the one who knows my human chariot, or Arjun with Kapidhwaj whom I can enter in a divine way, and the birth and tasks of this permanent chariot, and Kshetra, that is a field, and Kshetragya of the essence of the knowledge of the Gita in chapter 13, Shlok 2 and 3, along with the 23 dilapidated elements like the Indriya and so on mentioned in chapter 13, Shlok 5 of the Gita of Arjun's chariot with the ironage Tamsi intellect. He gives up body consciousness in the form of the body and finds me, the light of Sadashiv, the giver of Sadgati, the Supreme Father, Teacher and Sadguru, and he isn't born again in this hellish abode of sorrow. He just goes to the heavenly world of the abode of Vishnu. Footnote. Also see the topics like the divine birth of Shiv, old Brahma, Sindhurat, entrance in the body of someone else, that is Parkaya Pravesh, and so on in Adishwar Rahasya. That is the secret of the first Lord to get the proofs of his entrance in the body of someone else. Chapter 5, page 131 to 152. YouTube Adhyatmik Vidyalaya. Shlok 10 of chapter 4.
वीतराग भय क्रोधा मन्मया मामुपाश्रिता बहवो ज्ञान तपसा भूता मद्भावमागता.
Earlier too, in every kalpa, many, that is millions of people who were free from attachment, fear, and anger, engrossed in the remembrance of my Avyakt Murth, meaning the corporeal form who has attained the subtle stage, chapter 9, Shlok 4, and completely dependent on me, became pure through tapasya in the form of knowledge and yoga, through the remembrance of my soul, and attained my quality of kingship in the abode of Vishnu to a greater or a lesser extent according to their purusharth. Shlok 11 of chapter 4.
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्धन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः.
Whoever surrenders himself to me with whichever relation, I adopt him with that very close relation. O Lord of the earth, good people follow my path in every way according to the best tradition laid by me. It is also said, Mahajanen yen gatah sapantha, meaning the path travelled by great men itself is worth following. Shlok 12 of chapter 4.
काङ्क्षन्त कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवता क्षिप्रो हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा.
Those who wish for success in actions in this Purushottam Sangamyug world that makes something impossible into possible, perform service of the yajna of deities. Because success made through actions is attained quickly here itself, in the world of human beings in the form of the direct progeny of the thinker Manu, not in the world of deities, or the world of hell, or the earth. Shlok 13 of chapter 4.
चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्म
A kalpa, or 4 ages ago too, according to the nature of every person, I had created 4 categories, one higher than the other according to the division of qualities and actions in the Purushottam Sangmyug. Despite the Avyakmurti, in the form of Jyotirling, the form of light who has become equal to me through my Srimat, being its doer, people consider me, the imperishable, Amogvirya, Akarta light of Sadashiv who is Abhokta, the one who isn't born through the womb, the one who is detached and voiceless to be Mahadev Shankar, the corporeal Bhogi soul. Avyaktamurti means subtle, invisible, incorporeal. Murti means personality, that is the one who is in the subtle or incorporeal stage despite being corporeal. Footnote. The incorporeal light of Shiv is always the resident of the supreme abode. Adidev, Adam or Kashi Kailashi Vasi, that is the one who resides in Kashi and Mount Kailash, is the resident of the corporeal world. Kashi is a famous pilgrimage place in Banaras, Uttar Pradesh. Mount Kailash is another name of Himalaya mountains. Shlok 14 of chapter 4. I am neither bound by good or bad actions, nor do I have any kind of desire to obtain the result of actions. In this way, after churning properly, the one who recognizes me, the form which is always untainted, he isn't bound by actions in the 21 births of heaven plus Vaikunt which equals to half a kalpa, or the golden and silver age. He just stays happy there. Shlok 15 of chapter 4. After knowing this, the ones belonging to the Purushottam Sangmyug in every previous kalpa who desired to attain liberation, also performed exactly the same actions. This is why, according to the rule of exactly the same, or as it is repetition of every kalpa, after recognizing me in the permanent chariot, perform the very actions that you have performed in every cycle of 4 ages prior to the previous kalpa. Shlok 16 of chapter 4. In the history of 2500 years, even the scholars like great judges, sages, saints and so on here are confused by this theory of karma, of what is vikarma and what is akarma. I explain that form of karma, akarma and vikarma to you who has become the one with the stone-like intellect in this way. After knowing it according to the constitution of the true Gita, you will be liberated from inauspicious actions for half a kalpa in the golden and silver age of 2500 years. Shlok 17 of chapter 4. You should know karma and you should know opposite actions, meaning vikarma, that is actions performed against the Srimad too. And a karma while staying in the remembrance of the point soul is also worth knowing, because the dynamics of karma is very deep. I, the light of Sadashiv alone explain it only after coming in the Purushottam Sangmyug. Shlok 18 of chapter 4.
Karmanya karmaya pashe akarmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman
By remembering the soul, The person who sees akarma in karma while being free from thoughts, that is incorporeal after becoming point form, and the one who sees the actions being performed even in the renouncement of actions, with the thought of na kinchidapi chinte. In chapter 6, Shlok 25 of the Gita, while always being devoid of thoughts, he is certainly the intelligent child of Prajapita Brahma among the human beings, and that yogi is the one who performs actions completely like Sarv Sankalp Sannyasi, mentioned in chapter 6, Shlok 4 of the Gita. Na kinchidapi chintayat means, you shouldn't think anything else except the light of Sadashiv. Sarv Sankalp Sannyasi means, the one who completely renounces all the thoughts. Great sentences of Shiv Baba for this shlok are: the Father explains the dynamics of karma, akarma and vikarma to you, the unlimited sannyasis. Murli dated 2nd July, 1968, middle of page 2. Shlok 19 of chapter 4.
यस्य सर्वे समारम्भा कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिता ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं तमाहुः पण्डितं बुधा.
The person whose all the lokik and alokik actions are free from the thoughts of the violent vice of lust, intelligent people call him a Pandit of the Purushottam Sangmyug who burns his sinful actions of many, that is 63 births performed since the dualistic copper age through the fire of knowledge. Everyone else is ordinary. Shlok 20 of chapter 4.
त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
That easy yogi who is always satisfied after renouncing attachment to the fruits of actions by Nashkarmya Siddhim, in chapter 18, Shlok 49 of the Gita, and who isn't supported by anyone else except Shiv Baba, doesn't perform anything at all despite being engaged in the worldly actions properly. He always remains incorporeal, abhokta and akarta like the light of Sadashiv. Nashkarmya Siddhim means accomplishment of heaven beyond the celestial degrees, which is filled with super sensuous joy and is devoid of actions. Shlok 21 of chapter 4.
निराशीर्यत चित्तात्मा त्यक्त सर्व परिग्रह शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
The one who is free from worldly desires, the one who controls his soul in the form of the mind and intellect, and the one who gives up every kind of mastership including the body, wealth and abode through the quality of concentration, always becomes the resident of the incorporeal soul world like me, the abhokta light of Shiv, becomes ichchamatram avidya, for worldly desires, and doesn't accumulate sins while performing only essential physical actions for making Purusharth of the abode of Vishnu. He continues to be always sinless even in an impure body and impure world. Shlok 22 of chapter 4.
यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टो द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते.
Whether something is obtained by coincidence or not, the one who remains satisfied with this kind of attainment, the one who is beyond the contrasts, like happiness and sorrow etc., the one who is free from envy and the one who is stabilized in the soul even after being uniform in success and failure in his own actions performed in the past isn't bound in the bondage of actions because of staying in the remembrance of Shiv Baba. Shlok 23 of chapter 4.
गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरत कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते.
all the past and present good and bad actions of the one who is free from bodily attachment, the one who is liberated from the bondages of everyone except the one who has an unshakable, firm intellect for the advanced knowledge of the true Gita of Shiv, and the one who serves constantly with the feeling of service of the yajna through the power of the body, mind, wealth, time and relations are completely destroyed. Shlok 24 of chapter 4.
ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना.
Everything including the body, wealth and so on offered in the service of the yajna is Brahm. The things sacrificed with feelings, the offerings made in the fire of knowledge, or the fire of yoga of the upward facing, fifth head of Param with 5 heads through Brahma with 4 heads, are Param Brahm. Brahmalok, that is the soul world mentioned in chapter 8, Shlok 20 of the Gita, is the only destination of the one who has become complete in this very world after becoming full of that knowledge of great Brahm, the one who is absorbed in meditation through the service of the yajna of Rudra's knowledge through the thoughts, words or actions in the fire of the element Brahm. Footnote. Through the inexhaustible energy of the power of yoga, each and every atom of the round face of corporeal, spiritual Shankar's seed form body made of 5 elements becomes like a ball of fire in the form of an absolutely red ling of the Somnath temple. The Jews also worship that Jehovah, meaning a form of light, the name of God used in the Old Testament of the Bible. The diamond in the center is the remembrance of Adam, or the world father, the hero-like soul of white Arjun mentioned in the scriptures who becomes equal to the Supreme Father, the light of Sadashiv through the power of yoga. He himself is called Hiranyagarbha, that is golden womb, in the scriptures. Shlok 25 of chapter 4.
दैवमेवापरे यज्ञो योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञो यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति.
Other yogis worship the bhogi deities like Kumarka and so on of Brahma with 4 heads, in different ways through the service of yajna itself, while others sacrifice the Ashwamedh Rudra yajna itself in the fire of yoga of Parambrahm through the service of the yajna of knowledge. Still, worshipping the one Avyaktamurti along with remembrance itself is easy. Ashwamedh means to sacrifice the horse-like mind. Shlok 26 of chapter 4.
श्रोत्रादीनीन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्य इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति.
Other Brahmins offer the 11 Indriya-like ears, eyes and so on in the restraint-like fire, while the other householders offer the sensual pleasures like speech, touch and so on in the fire of the 5 Gyan Indriya-like ears, skin etc. only through the remembrance of God and practice. Shlok 27 of chapter 4.
सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते.
Others offer all the actions of the Indriya and the 5 actions of Pran, like Apan, Udan, and so on throughout the life in the fire of yoga of self-control ignited through the fire of knowledge. Pran means life breath or oxygen. Apan means the air that moves downwards, the energy that governs the removal of waste in the physical body and operates the genitals, lower intestine, colon, rectum, kidneys and bladder. Udan means the upward ejecting energy. Shlok 28 of chapter 4.
द्रव्ययज्ञास्तपोयज्ञा योगयज्ञास्तथा परे स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च यतत
Similarly, those who perform the service of Gyan Yagya, that is the Yagya of knowledge by service through perishable things, and the Yagya of Tap, that is intense meditation, ascetic practices of remembering the point of light soul in the center of the forehead, or numerous Yog Yagyas, an imaginary study of the various births of the other soul. The ascetic yogis who are thinkers to a greater or a lesser extent like sage Vyas are the ones who take strict vows. Shlok 29 of chapter 4.
आपाने जुह्वति प्राणं प्राणे पानं तथा परे प्राणापानगतिरुत्वा प्राणायामपरायणा.
Other devotee yogis consider Pran Vayu to be the remembrance of the Supreme Soul and offer Pran Vayu in non-living Apan Vayu, and Apan Vayu in non-living Pran Vayu in small pit for sacrificial fire of Yoga, while the other devotee yogis stop the movement of both, that is these very Pran and Apan, meaning they become the ones with nil thoughts for a short time and live with the temporary support of pranayam, that is breathing exercises, in the form of artificial kumbhak, of the pot in the form of a nil intellect. Pran Vayu means the air that moves upwards, oxygen. According to Ayurveda, the air that helps in inspiration, gulping food, hearing sounds, receiving external stimulus, etc. Pranayam means breathing exercises. Kumbhak is a type of breathing exercise in which breathing is held for some time. Footnote. Actually, here, it is about pure thoughts in the form of Pran Vayu and impure thoughts in the form of Apan Vayu. It means, it isn't about the bodily Hatha Yoga of holding and releasing the physical element air. Such pranayam and bodily asanas, that is yogic postures, will just increase body consciousness. Shlok 30 of chapter 4.
अपरे नियताहारा प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः.
Others who have a regulated diet during fasts like not having food, drinks and so on, obstinately offer their life breath, that is Pran in Pran Vayu based on the opinion of the mind or other human beings. All these different types of performers of Hatha Yogi Yagya, like the ones whose sins have reduced through the Yagya of uttering Swaha Swaha that burns the body, are also the knowers of the Yagya to a greater or a lesser extent. Shlok 31 of chapter 4.
यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् नायं लोकोऽस्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम.
Those who consume the nectar-like food, that is bhog left in the yagya after making offerings in the service of God, go to the eternal Param Brahm with 5 heads. O Arjun, the best one according to the religion among the Kurus who perform corrupt actions and are arrogant of their actions. This world of selfish atheists who don't perform the service of yagya and think about the complete destruction isn't the giver of happiness either. Then how will the other heavenly Vaikunt with super sensuous joy give happiness to them? Shlok 32 of chapter 4.
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे.
Similarly, various types of yagyas, fairs, meetings etc. have spread through the mouth of Brahma with 4 united heads. Consider all those yagyas to have originated from the arrogance of actions performed through the karmendriya of the ones belonging to the Kuru dynasty. After knowing this, you will be liberated from the violent actions learnt through the corrupt karmendriya of the ones belonging to the Kuru dynasty as well. Shlok 33 of chapter 4.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयाद्यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माणि
O the one who gives pain to the enemies. Ashwamedh Rudra Gyan Yagya that has been continuing constantly through the fire of knowledge and yoga for 100 years, is much better than the yagya conducted through physical fire performed with perishable physical things. O Lord of the earth, all the rituals created by the religions filled with blind faith, of the path of bhakti, or those belonging to the left path among the religions of the entire world end with faith and belief in the Rudra Gyan Yagya of Ekling God. Ekling literally means one ling, another name of Shivling. Footnote. Rajasva means the yagya that grants sva, that is true Swarajya, meaning rule over the self of the soul. Ashwamedh means the horse-like mind is killed. Avinashi means the physical yagyas are perishable because of the use of physical things in them, but there is just the predominance of the imperishable soul with the mind and intellect in this yagya. Rudra Gyan Yagya means, at the end of the ironage, the last offering of the great destruction that brings an end of the kalpa is offered through the fire of knowledge plus yoga of the one Jyotiling, the ling form of light, that is Maharudra, the greatest Rudra incarnate. Shlok 34 of chapter 4.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Know that Rudra Gyan Yagya with great respect, through the service of knowledge and asking questions, in the individual weekly course. The knowledgeable ones, or the elevated progeny of Brahma with the vision of truth of the advanced true Gita will give teachings of sage Kapil's knowledge of Sankhya of the sentences of Vedas narrated directly through Brahma's mouth to you. Footnote. Adhyatmik Vishwavidyalaya, Kampila, Farrukhabad, Uttar Pradesh, Bharat. Email evanspiritualvan@gmail.com. Website www.pbks.info, www.adhyatmik-vidyalaya.com. YouTube, AIVV or Adhyatmik Vidyalaya. Shlok 35 of chapter 4.
यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि.
O son of Pandu in the form of the guide, that is Panda. After knowing that master of the Pandavas, that is Pandavpati, or the world father, that is Jagatpita, you won't have such bodily attachment for 21 births to the short-term relatives again in this world. Thereafter, you will directly and clearly see the heavenly plus hellish world tree merged in me, the seed form of Vyaktling, that is subtle ling, through the eyes of the intellect, and all the living beings in the diamond-like soul along with the ling in the form of the body of that world father. Shlok 36 of chapter 4.
अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि.
Even if you are more sinful who is considered lowly and Shudra, like Azamil, the greatest sinner and the greatest deceiver than all the sinners, still, with the help of the knowledgeable Shankarchap Jahaz, in the form of the deity of fire, that is Agnidev, Yahovah, Adam, Arjun, or Mahadev, the son of Shiv Baba, the storehouse of mercy, you will definitely swim and completely cross the entire copper and iron-age hellish ocean of sins of half the kalpa for 63 births, through the power of knowledge and yoga while sitting in the ship-like body. Shudra means those belonging to the fourth and the lowest division of the Indo-Aryan society. Shankarchap Jahaz means the bow-like body of Shankar is like a ship. Footnote. The bow-like body of Shankar is like a ship. All the men who ride on him go across, and the rest of the entire world drowns, that is. Shankarchap Jahaz, Jehi Chadi Utarhin Parnar, Buri Sakal Sansar. The ship named Nanak. The ship named Chandrakant Vedant. The sages and saints have called the world Father's childlike and flexible body with a wood-like intellect as a ship, a bow, or a boat in the scriptures. Shlok 37 of chapter 4.
यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निर्भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा.
O Arjun, just like the ignited fire burns the fuel in the holy of vices like lust, anger, etc. from the dualistic age and turns it into ashes, similarly, the fire of knowledge of Shiv plus corporeal Baba, meaning Yehovah, the deity of fire plus the light of Sadashiv, the treasurer of inexhaustible fire of knowledge and yoga, turns all kinds of sinful deeds into ashes. Shlok 38 of chapter 4.
न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह वेद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति.
Nothing in any religious scripture is as pure and extremely superior as the advanced knowledge of the true Gita in this world. Having attained complete accomplishment through the remembrance of God, as soon as the Purusharth of Arjun, or Adam, the world father, the deity of fire, Yehovah, the master of the world, that is Vishwanath, the controller of the world, that is Jagannath, the father of the world, that is Vishwapita, the hero actor is completed. When the time comes, he himself acquires that Sangyan, that is Sankhya Yoga, in his soul through which Bhutal Dekhin shall one Bhutal Bhuri Nidhan, meaning he can easily discover a host of minds on hilltops, in the midst of the forests, and in the bowels of the earth. The epic Ramayana. Sangyan means, sun means complete, Gyan means knowledge, meaning complete knowledge. Sankhya Yoga means, having to do with number, or calculation, name of an Indian philosophical system. Great sentences of Shiv Baba for this shlok are: by remembering the Father constantly in an unadulterated way, complete knowledge automatically emerges in you. Avyaktvani dated 24th January, 1970, beginning of page 3. Shlok 39 of chapter 4.
श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानं तत्पर संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेणाधिगच्छति.
Only the one who has complete faith, the one who always attempts to regulate the Indriya through knowledge and yoga along with celibacy, and the one who controls the Indriya completely by means of remembrance of the soul takes knowledge. After obtaining knowledge, the one who controls the Indriya firmly through focused mind attains peace of the supreme abode soon in this very birth, while living in this very world of the Purushottam Sangam Yug that makes something impossible into possible. It means, he brings down the Param Brahmalok, that is the abode of Parambrahm, or the highest heaven, Paramakash, here itself. Shlok 40 of chapter 4.
अज्ञश्चाश्रद्धकालश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परो न सुखं संशयात्मनः.
An ignorant man and the one who doesn't have faith and the one who has a doubting nature is ruined from the attainment of the position of a deity or kingship for many births through easy Rajyog. There is neither this world of hell with momentary happiness like the droppings of a crow, nor heaven of Parlok, that is the world beyond, and there isn't the supersensuous joy of the abode of Vishnu, of Vaikunt either for the person with a doubting nature. Shlok 41 of chapter 4.
योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानसञ्छिन्नसंशयम् आत्मवन्तन्न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय.
O the winner of knowledge! The one who has renounced all the bondages of actions through the stable remembrance of the star-like soul, the one who cuts off all the doubts through the advanced knowledge of the true Gita isn't bound by the actions at all. Shlok 42 of chapter 4.
तस्मादज्ञानसम्भूतं हृत्स्थं ज्ञानासीनात्मनः चित्त्वैनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठोतिष्ठ भारत.
This is why, O Bharat, with the dagger of knowledge of the soul, cut this doubt that has generated out of ignorance and settled in the heart. Engage in yoga and stand up.
ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता सूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे ज्ञानकर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः.